Hello, my limitless, beautiful, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How you doing on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? How's it going? Huh? If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the Dropbox below. They're in the screen that just went by. I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have a channel membership where I go live with my channel members every single Tuesday. Okay. Let's jump right in. This is going to be answering some questions from super chats from way back in June 13th. I will probably add some June 15th ones in here as well, because there are only 3 super chats for June 13th. Okay. And June 15th has an obnoxious amount. So I want to get them answered. All right. So I'm just hopping in. I'm not even going to play around. We're going to hop in. So the first one is from Smart Start 24. The question is, bad sign if visualization now evokes zero emotion? No, not necessarily. Right off the top, no, not necessarily. So if you're using the same type of visualization in your manifestation game, anybody new here, visualizing is just you utilizing your imagination and seeing a visual scene of what you're manifesting or what signifies to you that you have your manifestation. So if when doing your visual, you don't feel any emotion, number one, let's say this. I don't want you to just rule it right out. Okay, well, this visual isn't good anymore. I need to stop utilizing it because I'm not getting emotional or feeling emotions. I don't want to say that, because you could have just been having a day, just a down day. Or maybe it's time to zhuzh it. If you might yourself, start getting bored of a visual. Now, I know there are some teachers, coaches, whatnot, who believe that you must utilize the same exact visualization every single time. And it's the law of assumption. Let me just remind you, I just said it. It's the law of assumption. What you believe to be true will be true. And if you're like me, we don't like rules. And we don't buy into that. And guess what? I don't have to ever go by that thinking. And I will still manifest. And I'm saying that with some cocky ass arrogance because I've proven it to myself time and time again. I was never even a visualizer. That was something I had to learn with practice. You do not have to use the same exact scene every time you visualize. That is hogwash. Hogwash. But, the thing is this. The idea is it better if we're feeling adding the senses into the visual? Yeah. But I don't want you to feel that, every time you do a visual and you're not getting, the happy butterflies, right? That doesn't mean anything necessarily. It's not your emotions that manifest. It is your state that manifests. So the visuals are tools, to help you enter any state. Right? Because we are always manifesting from a state. So this is a yes and no. It's a yes and no answer because it's not a definite. It doesn't mean that, okay, now it's not working. Don't want to use that one anymore. However, we are allowed to zhuzh up or switch up our visuals. So if you're finding yourself bored, come up with a new one. It doesn't matter. Okay? All right. Poop's going nutty behind me. Rolling on her back, acting like a fool. I'm doing laundry. Okay, so the next one is it's 2 in a row from the user R650. So like I said, when I said there was 3 super chats, there are. So we will be getting into the June 15th. Okay. Got some movement from SP, but it's been 12 days since we spoke as our entrance exam is coming. Got BBL from our friends, but I still miss her sometimes. Plus, it's been 4 months now. I want her to commit soon. That plus it's been 4 months was the second super chat purchased by this person. Okay, so it's been 4 months now, and I want her to commit soon. All right. First of all, right from the jump. Listen, you got BBL, which is a good thing when we are manifesting. It's always a lovely thing to have some semblance of BBL in your 3D. If you have no BBL, does that mean something's wrong? No, not necessarily. No. But I look at it as a pleasurable extra when we get BBLs with our manifestation games. But there are some people who never get any and still manifest. So I don't want you to judge signs or BBLs. So, okay, so it's been 12 days since we last spoke. Okay, right off the top, we don't want to, listen, this is for anybody. If you're manifesting, actually, it doesn't matter what you're manifesting. I can't even talk today. It doesn't matter what you're manifesting, but in specifics, if you're manifesting a specific person, it is natural for our old logical, literal thinking, especially if we have not been focusing on what state we're embodying, and you want to do that because that is what your reality shift is, right? When we're embodying a state, you are essentially reality shifting. That's manifesting. That's what we're doing with manifestation, okay? So if you're sitting over here in your old state, which you are, and I say that with love, but you're paying attention to the amount of time since you last spoke to that person. Now, you are a human, and your feelings and your thoughts are always valid, right? I'm not picking at you because even I have been there, especially frustrated with SP manifestations. I think everybody does, right? Or at least they have an area that they don't feel very zhuzh in all the time, right? But you're counting days, and we don't want to do that. When you are relentlessly paying attention to time and how much time's going by, you're affirming that you don't have your shit. You're also like openly welcoming your old shitty state to hang around a lot longer because you're sitting in a place that says, I do not have. And not only am I paying attention to how many days are going by, I'm probably getting a little frustrated that days are going by. And we are, because you want her to commit to you soon. And it's been 4 months. So not only are you paying attention to the last time you damn well talked, you're paying attention to how long it's been since it's been, maybe meeting this person or just getting involved with them. When we are relentlessly paying attention to how much time has gone by, you are without question in a state of not having. And when we want to get what we want, and we want to get it specifically the way we want it, we got to drop that shit. We got to make the focus what state we're embodying or who you are identifying yourself as. And when we're looking at time, we are identifying yourself. I know it's like repetition of me saying this to you, but I want you to really get it. If you are relentlessly concerning yourself with how much time has gone by, and listen, you're not fooling anybody when the thought is coming into your mind anyway, and you're like, no, that doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. And then you go back worrying about it. You're not fooling anybody. You can't outrun yourself. You have to be authentic to yourself when manifesting. You're not going to avoid that. Some of you think you're going to. You're not. Meaning, listen, you know what's really always going on in here. You know where your thoughts are. Okay? And if they are consistently thoughts that say, I'm concerned I'm not going to get this. I'm worried it's not going to show up. I'm afraid. And I am consistently telling myself that I'm not this person who has their damn desire. It's not about being perfect to manifest. But at some point, you have to take a look at who you're truly being dominantly, or who you're truly being most of the time. And who you are truly being is the same thing as saying embodying the version of yourself that has the manifestation. Don't overcomplicate it, but put your focus on being the version of you who has that person committed to them. And what would it feel like to be in that loving, fulfilling, committed relationship? What do you think it would feel like? That's embodying. And the more often that you tell yourself that you are that person, even if the 3D says dead ass something different, the more that you keep telling yourself that you are this new person, right off the jump, I'm telling you, the more often you say this to yourself, the more often you step into that feeling of, I'm in a committed, long-term, loving, fulfilling, whatever relationship. I mean, I am loved. I am finally the version of myself who was truly loved and cherished. Your 3D is going to begin changing. Your focus is going to start changing as well. As I said, I've said this in my last video, that even Neville has mentioned the fact of test this shit for yourself. Test your imagination. I'm not even talking about full-on testing manifestation. I'm saying test your imagination. Think about something you want to experience and observe the thoughts that come into your mind. It's all going to be centered around that particular thing. So you're manifesting this girl and you're thinking about being in the relationship with her. Your imagination is going to start throwing thoughts at you. And they're all going to be around SP. Now, when our ego likes to take over, usually there are reasons why we don't have it or can't have it. When we know we're in a more beneficial state, it's more hopeful thoughts. Now, having a negative thought doesn't mean you are fucked and you have ruined everything and you're never going to be in the state of having. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. That's when I say stop making it so complicated. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking it. Chill and just decide you are this new person and your life out here will change. I guarantee that confidently. Just listen to me. Listen, I'm not spewing bullshit just because I feel like making a sassy, saucy, sexy video. I'm telling you from personal damn experience, and I've had some crazy ass experiences over this last year. Crazy ass ones. So, listen to a bitch. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to hop into for a couple of the June 15th super chats. Now, granted, this was in the June 15th super chat. So, you know, I feel bad that when I see some of these super chats that you were having a rough night and I couldn't get to your super chat. I do apologize. I do the best that I can when I go live. I do. I hate leaving questions to be answered. I like to get them all done. I can't always do that. And I'm saying this because I can see right from the top, Vonnie was having a shitty day that day. So her super chat is crying and struggling. I'm even asking, how will I trust again if he does come back? Revising, but still triggered. The old story seems unbeatable with many circumstances, feeling very lonely and powerless. Okay. Like I said, I wish I had been able to bring you more comfort that day. I feel shitty that I wasn't able to. I think you all know I have a very, very soft heart when it comes to, well, I have a soft heart in general, but when it comes to people struggling and hurting over specific person manifestations in particular, not that I don't care about other subjects, that's not what I meant, but because I've been that person and I know what it's like to be in that feeling, and it does fucking suck. It sucks. I know it does. But I've seen Vonnie in the live streams from, you know, since then, and she seems to be doing pretty damn good. So regardless, let's go back to that, and maybe this will help somebody else who's spiraling or having a shitty day. Okay, so we're going to guess, because I don't have all the circumstances here, and I don't remember all the details of Vonnie's particular circumstance. But circumstances don't matter now, do they? Not unless you say they do. Yeah? Okay. So SP must have done something shitty that has broken the trust that you had for this person. And you are revising what happened, but the old story seems unbeatable with many circumstances. Now, listen, I understand that. I understand that. You know, listen, I understand that. I do. I mean, let's look at Shelley Bullard for a second. And I think I love that she was honest about this, because I think it's important to other people out there. And, you know, Shelley, when she manifested her husband just previously of that, she stopped manifesting a different specific person and didn't want to work on it anymore. Didn't want to just deal with that SP anymore. Wanted someone new. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. And I'm not telling anybody that is manifesting a specific person that if it's not working, give up and go somewhere else. It's not what I'm telling you. But sometimes I have run into people who feel like they're stuck. They're stuck because they're on a manifestation game, so they have to keep this person because what other people are going to think. Fuck that entirely. And if I ever enter a place where I don't want specific person anymore, I'm going to move on to somewhere else. If I don't feel like, now, granted, if they show up shitty, I'm just going to stop manifesting. I mean, if I'm not feeling the interest anymore, I'm going to look elsewhere. I'm going to move on. If I don't have the zhuzhy feelings for someone anymore, I'm not staying in a relationship that I want to be in. You know what I'm saying? You need the attraction. Yeah, we're getting off topic, but I'm just saying, okay? So well done. I love that Shelly did that, because Ivani, here's an example of, if you feel that your circumstances are just too friggin' tough to battle or to overcome, the option is always to move on to somebody else, so long as you are still putting the focus on being the new version of yourself. That's not going to be something we're going to avoid, or we're going to have a repeat performance, okay? But if you are struggling with a specific person and you want to keep manifesting them, you're in the right place. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But we need to take a look at why you think the circumstances are too big. They're too big. Why? And I'm going to tell you why. Because right now, or at least in that moment when you bought the super chat, you were in a specific state that those type of circumstances, you can't overcome them. Now, what I mean by that is you were being a version of yourself that felt like this was too much. This was too big. I don't think I can forgive and move on. I just can't forget. Although I'm revising, I'm still hurting over it. That's a state. You were in a state. There are no circumstances that cannot be overcome unless you choose not to overcome them. And when you're in a victim state, which I call all the lower states, right? You know me, this is for newbies. I like to look at states as up on a set of stairs. The higher we go up the states, the better we feel, the better the state is. The lower, so when you hear me say lower states, that's when we're feeling like the world is against us and things are happening to us. When you're in a lower state, your entire perception of your 3D is going to be ass backwards. You're going to see things as insurmountable, unchangeable, unfixable. You're going to see things as, I don't think I can forgive him for this or her for this. I can't move on. I want this person still. I love this person still, but I don't think I'm ever going to get over what they did. How am I going to trust them again? That's your state. You shift your state. Your entire perception of not only everything in your damn 3D, but the circumstances and your person. And you yourself are becoming a new person. Do you see what I'm saying? So there are no circumstances that are too difficult to get over. If you're currently someone in a place where you are struggling with circumstances in your 3D, especially if you are struggling with somebody else in the 3D, right now, what you're going through, what you're feeling is valid. Your feelings are always valid. Always, damn it, always. Feelings are always valid. But we still need to remind ourselves that if we're looking out at the 3D as something that out of my control, I can't manifest my desires because this happened. It's just the state you're in and not a damn thing more than that. And when you decide to take the focus off just the specific person manifestation, because you don't have to remove your focus on what you're manifesting. Is that what I'm saying? But when you instead make your focus you and what state you're embodying or what version of yourself you are, who you are choosing to identify yourself as, when you put the primary focus on that, everything else is going to fall into place. Everything else. And the way you see everything will change and your person will change and you will find it easier to forgive someone. You will. Because listen, forgiveness matters. Forgiveness comes into the equation. We can't reality shift or quantum jump to a different reality where we're with the specific person in a happy, loving, committed relationship if we don't let go of the circumstances. And by let go, I mean, once you shift your state, you're going to see that the way you probably feel about the circumstances completely change. Okay. Now, granted, even though the rules still do apply, I do need to say I am never talking about abusive situations. If you were in an abusive situation, okay, we need to get you the fuck on out of that situation. We can talk manifesting another time. But abusive situations, no, get the fuck out. We'll get to a safe place. We'll work on everything else after. Okay. I'm not someone who's going to turn you away for having a desire, but we got to get you safe first. Okay. I feel like I need to say that. So When old story is still coming up and you're sitting there battling the old story, you've got to look at what state you're in. It's unavoidable. It's not avoidable. You got to look at who you're being. You do. Because the state in itself is why you're triggered, is why you're having a difficult time, is why things seem so damn difficult. It's why. It's the state. It's who you are being. I am on repetition mode today because I feel like I say this all the fucking time. And I sometimes think, man, you guys probably get sick of it. But it is what it is. It's your state. It is your state. 100%. So when you are in a state where something shitty has happened and you haven't addressed why you're even in that state, why we're seeing things the way we are, we're going to continue to be triggered. Now, being triggered does not make you a manifestation failure in any way, shape, or form. If that was the case, I'd have nothing, okay? But in the moment that the old story is coming up and those thoughts feel damn well intrusive, you want to stop. You want to take a damn break from your manifestation game for a few minutes, and you want to put the focus on centering yourself, calming yourself down. That should be the focus first, okay? That should be the number one focus. And once you've gotten yourself relaxed, then we can slowly walk into the more beneficial state, or at least a more beneficial state from where you are right now. So you can see outside of the circumstances. And you start small. You start small. What ifing yourself? What if it was easy for me to, snap, crackle, pop the fuck out of this state? What if it was easy? What if it was easy? What if I could wake up tomorrow feeling totally ready to forgive and let this go and see them from a new perception? What if it was easy for me to embody the state of my choice? What if it was easy for me to do it? What do I think it would feel like if I wasn't hurting over this circumstance anymore? What if it was easy to just stop looking at the circumstances like they control me? What if I just like that decided I'm my new person, I'm the new version of myself? What would that feel like? What would it feel like to be the version of yourself that is no longer hurting over circumstances because they know they're in total control of what they experience in their 3D reality, the good and the bad of what we experience intermingling in our love relationships? What if I was that version of myself now? What would that feel like? What would it feel like to know that my specific person is head over heels in love with me and we're letting go of the circumstance? What if? What if I stopped having intrusive thoughts? What if I was the version of myself who is not being attacked with this old story? Do you see what I'm saying? We start little what ifs, and you will notice your body starts to say calm. Now, if you start what ifing yourself and ask specific, I can't even talk, ask things about the old story and you get triggered again, stop, chill yourself out again, meaning just relax, chill out. Sometimes having a good old-fashioned cry or a good old-fashioned nap is what we need. And then we start over again until we can get into a more pleasurable state. So Vani, I am saying that you are doing much better. And for anybody else spiraling, struggling with circumstances, there's some great ass advice for you. Okay. And on that note, I'm going to end it here. So I only got one from the June 15th in here. Okay. So thank you very much for watching. I shall see you all tomorrow. Be good. Be good. Ask yourself in this moment, who do you think you are? Like the Spice Girls song. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Do you think you are? Who do you think you are right now? What version of you are you being right now? It's choice. And we can snap, crackle, pop into that new reality. Moment by moment. Okay? See you tomorrow.